It's Suzanne, and welcome to my March 2025 sales update video. And I am changing things up a little bit. I've been doing the same format on my sales update videos for like 5 years since 2020, and I'm just ready to do it different. So you're going to get the same information, just presented in a different way. I'm also experimenting with ways to create these videos faster, because the old method was laying everything out in a PowerPoint and then recording it. And I'm just going to kind of be more of a free spirit now and do some scrolling and showing you things and ad-libbing and talking about it. So after this is over, let me know. Do you like the new format? Do you hate it? Let me know. If I'm getting bored with it, you are too. So I like to do these sales update videos to show you the real sales, because a lot of stuff out there on social media about eBay is not real. It is, shopping and no follow-up, and nothing wrong with shopping videos. You can learn a lot watching what people buy. But, a lot of that can be staged, and you can't argue with sold items and the numbers. So new format, but same great information. And side note, the reason I do these sales videos is to give you the follow-up and show you what a real person is doing on eBay. We're all different in our business. We have different goals. We have different strategies. But I just like to share what I'm doing, because maybe it could help somebody else learn something new and be more successful. And another reason for a new format that I can create more quickly and maybe not as many listings in my eBay store is I'm working on a big project, something that I have been asked to do by you, my audience, for a long time. And I'm diving in and doing it. So I'm going to keep you in suspense about what it is until it's ready. But I am time blocking an hour or two every day, probably for the next 60 to 90 days, to get this completed so I can share it with you. So go easy on me if you're like, you didn't list very much stuff. Well, we only have 24 hours in a day. Trust me. I'm trying to pack as much in as I can, keep the podcast going, keep my eBay store going, keep my school going, and these YouTube videos, because I love doing them. I love talking to you, and look at me on camera talking to you. So just know that I am diligently working on a fun project that will help a lot of people behind the scenes, and hopefully that will launch in midsummer. So little surprise there. I'm going to keep you in suspense. Okay, all that being said, let's jump into the sales update.
First off, for the boring part, I'm going to show you my numbers provided by eBay under the Performance tab. And I do put this in my sales update videos because you might not know how to find these numbers, or if it's your first time to my channel and you've landed on this video, you may not know how to do this. So just go to your Seller Hub under Performance, click Sales, choose your time frame. So in this case, it's March 1st through the 31st of 2025. And you'll see the total sales number. This includes shipping and taxes. So it can be a little deceiving. That's why you want to keep your own records so you can back out those numbers and know what your actual total sales of products were. So in my case, it's $3,617.24. And quantity sold was 95 items, up 8% from prior time period, which was February, because February had 3 fewer days, so I had more time to sell more items, as everybody did. But I don't really focus on that. I focus on profit and how much money I keep. So I just like to see what this number is because selling a few items every day is good for the algorithm. It gives you momentum. And, if you hadn't had a sale in a few days, you might want to take a low offer every now and then just to get the ball rolling again. So, that being said, we are going to now jump over to eBay and look at some sold items. Normally, I put things in ascending order, but I'm working on my OCD and we're just going to jump in and look at some sales. I'm going to talk about anything that might help you with your business and not be so concerned with putting everything in order. So let's go over to eBay. Okay, the big story for March was horse ribbons. I bought a huge lot. There were about 425 usable ribbons that weren't like completely destroyed or stained. And this was on an online auction. Um, and they were quite pricey to have shipped to me, but I got them so cheap that they came out to be about 30 cents per ribbon, making each lot $3.30. So I did a search up here and put in horse ribbons for the month of March, and I did sell 30 lots, which is fantastic. Some on offer, some full price. I am pricing them at $39.97 for a lot of 10. I like that number because it's easy to photograph and uh, makes a not too big shipping package. It's not too expensive. I had to play around with the number to figure that out. So that's a number I like working with. So you can see through here the prices, and I did take some offers as low as $35 and getting repeat buyers. This one is just the rosettes because I sorted through them and the streamers coming off of the ribbons were really gross and muddy and probably more than just mud on there. I don't know. um, so I just cut them off and sold the rosettes on their own, took 25 for that lot, and just played around with the color combinations. And 400 plus horse ribbons is a lot of ribbons to sort through. So that took me over a month to get all of them listed. But there they are. That's the big story. And on my spreadsheet that I keep of my items, I made over $1,200 selling horse ribbons in March. So I found a new category that works for me. Okay, this item I purchased on an online auction. Here it is. There were two of these Monopoly games together, and I looked up both of them, and the Mustang one sold for a lot more, but it was a lot. I had to buy it. So I paid $17 for both of them. And this is the Mustang one that did not sell for $69.97. It sold for $50. I took a best offer on that. So my profit was $31, which I was happy with. And when I assign a cost to these items I'm purchasing online, I do include the fee, the buyer fee they add on there, as well as shipping, and divide it out per item. So I know exactly what I'm paying. So that's called the buyer's premium. So you definitely want to look at that if you are doing these online auctions and having items shipped to you, because depending on what you could sell it for, shipping isn't always cost prohibitive, and all the buyer's premiums are different. So like on this one, it was, let's see down here, 15% if you pay by card, which if you are having it shipped to you, you're obviously having it on your credit card. Some are 10%, some are 22%. So you just have to pay attention to that. So the other Monopoly game is listed, and I will come out ahead on that purchase. Here is a 1972 Miss Deb fashion doll, and I bought this to experiment on because I wanted to learn more about dolls, what to look for, how do they sell, what kind of questions do people ask, and that sort of thing. I paid $39.75 for her at an estate sale, knowing I could get that back for it. And no, she did not sell for $105.97. And I just figured out if I click on View Purchased Item, I could see the real price. So operator error on that one. eBay is constantly changing the landscape, so okay, now I know that. I took a $90 offer, and that was a couple of days after I raised the price because she showed up in my send offer workflow many, many times. And I'm like, okay, is anybody really going to buy this? Or, what's happening here? So I had her priced at 95 and I raised it to 105. And then this offer for $90 came in. So my profit on her was $42.76. Not huge, but it flipped in a couple of months, and it was a good product to practice on. Okay, and this is something I've never found. Got this at an estate sale for $15.19. A vintage reversible Pendleton Beaver State pillow. I priced it at 80 just because comps were all over the place, but the black background seemed to be more highly desired. And if we go to purchased item, I took an offer of $60. So my profit was $42.03. So I'm happy with that. And I am showing you the best offer price in comparison to the asking price because a lot of times sellers just don't know what offers to accept. So I'm attempting to lead by example here and just show you that, everybody takes offers and you don't have to go into analysis paralysis about it. If you haven't had a sale in a few days and it's an item that you've had for a long time, yeah, take the offer. But this sold in just a couple of days, and I was happy with the profit it would produce. So easy to ship as well. Don't have to worry about it breaking. And unusual item, something that is, on my BOLO list, but I've never found one of these before. So Pendleton Beaver State wool throw pillow. Paid $15.19. Took a $60 offer. And one thing I neglected to mention about the Pendleton pillow is it only had one view. That's all it takes. Don't worry about views. Sometimes it just takes one to sell, and this was a perfect example of that. Okay, moving on to the Spartina 449 canvas tote bag. This was free to me. Spartina 449 is a lovely company that originated in Dalfusky Island, which is off the coast of South Carolina. They just make beautiful products. So this was free to me. I had it priced at $49.97 and I took an offer of $35. My profit was $34.08 because I did make a little money on the shipping. So free products are great, and that was a fun sale. Next up is this lot of 6 high school letters. I purchased these at an estate sale for $3.75 just because why not? They looked cool, and I did not know how to price them. I looked at a lot of different lots of these, and their prices were just all over the place depending on what the letter or high school mascot is, or if it had a year on it or a name on it. And again, this only had one view. So I just accepted an offer of $20. Oh, sorry, $25. That seemed fair to me. It was a very quick flip, easy to ship. So my profit on this item was $19.56, and it was like the easiest sale ever. Next item is an American Girl doll. I bought 3 of these at once, and she's the first one to sell. The line is called Welliewishers, not as expensive as the regular ones, but she cost me $2.90 and I took an offer of $20. Customer was happy, and she didn't have any shoes and her hair wasn't done the original way, so I went ahead and took a lower offer on that, but my profit was $17.39. Okay, this is a Brighton handbag, and this one was kind of a gamble. I bought it for $35 at an estate sale, and I put it on auction, and it ended with one bid, and it's not giving me that page to click through to view purchased item for some reason. But it sold for $59.97, one bid, so I didn't lose any money, but there was only 3 views. So I'd had this for over 6 months, and it just wasn't getting any attention. And when I did the research when I bought it, you know, it showed sales of $300. So I guess the handbag market is just down, but I got a little impatient there, and so my profit was like $20. But I got my original investment back. Somebody got a nice handbag, and I didn't lose any money on that experiment. One more item to show you. This is a Busilla finished Crewel embroidery pillow top, or it could be a wall hanging or whatever you want to use it for. $15 at an estate sale. And let's go look at the original listing here. You can see how pretty that is. There's a lot of work there. I had it priced at $49.97. And if we go to the purchased item, it will show that I accepted an offer of $40. And very quickly, just in a couple of days, my profit was $20.34. So very happy with that sale, and that was so easy to ship. The highlights, again, mostly horse ribbons for the month of March, which I am not upset about. If you want to see all of my sold listings, you can go below the video here down to this link that says my sold items, and that will bring them up for you. And are you noticing a trend? Are you noticing I'm getting away from clothing? I've been in that category for my entire eBay career, which started in 2003. So maybe I'm a little burned out doing it, but I am really interested in these new types of products I'm selling. So let me show you my numbers real quick, and then we will dive into things that I purchased for resale. Okay, here are the numbers that I like to track. And like I said, doing this business since 2003, I've come up with my own systems and the ways I like to do things and what keeps me motivated. So, 95 items sold. I currently have 445 items in my store. I usually stay between 450 and 500. The value of my listed items is $18,240. I like to look at that. It's just a number that keeps me motivated, like, wow, I did all that work. And that's how much I have listed. If everything sold, that's how much money it is. My inventory cost for the items that were newly listed, not all of it, was $460 in March. My profit per item, $19.96. I listed 224 items. 134 of those were refreshed listings where I end them and start them over. New items, meaning have never been there before, 90. And those numbers are really important. That keeps me on track, making sure I'm touching my store every day and doing something to keep that algorithm happy so that it will see me as an active store. Okay, and now I'm going to show you some items I purchased for resale. And I am breaking my own rule here because I did buy a lot of stuff in March, and it's not all listed. But I do want to show you what I'm working on because we all have piles of stuff we're trying to get to. And I was very diligent about only showing you items that had been listed.
And I don't think that's really fair because treasure hunting is part of this. And we all have good things back there in our pile that we're really trying to get to. So I'm learning about a lot of new product lines. And I just want to show you, some of them are listed, some of them are not, but show you some of the things I purchased for resale because you may not know about these items. You may not have ever explored them. And I feel like this is a journey we're taking together, learning about what to sell because it constantly changes. So here are some items that I purchased for resale.
Okay, here we are in my eBay store. And we're going to go down here to all items newly listed and just scroll through some things and talk about some things. So I've got some more horse ribbons up there. That the gift that keeps on giving. So I did purchase an artist sketchbook. And here is the listing where I bought it on an online auction and the photos that I looked at. Now, this was pretty heavy to ship, and half of it was empty pages, but there were examples of what's in it. And my idea here was to pull out the best ones and sell them individually as art. Could be framed and hung on the wall or whatever. So there's people, there's advertising, there's animals, all kinds of stuff in here that would make very interesting art for someone to have in their home or their business. Yes, there is an almost nude. I call this Adam because he's got a little bitty fig leaf there. But this person was a fantastic artist, and this was just his student sketchbook. So if we go back over to the listing here, I put these together as one lot. There's 3 drawings of horses. And I thought, oh, that goes well with my horse ribbons. Like the keywords are there. So, and I just thought this was really good artwork. And then here's another advertisement for a Kelvinator refrigerator. And I just kind of did my best on the pricing. We'll just see where it goes. What I'm looking for here is what kind of offers do I get? How fast do these sell? What kind of questions do people ask? So I can learn more about selling this type of item. And this is just a fabulous drawing of a 1940s woman, in the dress of the day with a hat and the shoes. And all of these are from 1948 and 1949. And in some of the listings where I had room, I did put the artist's name because if anyone's doing any ancestry or searches for family, they might find these listings. This was a really nice one of an Alice Chalmers tractor type thing, earth moving equipment. And so I did put the artist's name in the title. So maybe his ancestors or family could find this work. Not his ancestors, that would be his descendants. Sorry about that. Because he died in 2005. So I'm thinking his stuff has just been in a storage unit and somebody finally got around to dealing with it, 20 years later. So maybe somebody from the city of Candor, New York would be interested in this. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I did think these were quite interesting and easy to photograph, easy to ship, very unique, probably won't get returned, all those great things we love about eBay listings. So, yeah, artist sketchbook. And I did pay $50 for this plus shipping. So I don't know how many items I'm going to get out of it. I'm still going through them. I pulled out the best ones and got those listed first. But so I've never done anything like this before. So this is a new venture. Okay, here is another item from that same auction as the sketchbook. This lot of old photos, but they're really cabinet cards, which I paid $20 plus shipping for these. And this is something I've never worked with, are these cabinet cards. So I've been on the Facebook group asking a lot of questions about how do I do this? How do I group them together? Do I group them together? What kind of information should I put in the listing? And so I'm learning all about these before I dive in and start listing them, because there is a method to the madness here on these old photos and cabinet cards. The subject, the date, the photographer, the location, all these different things. And there's about 89 of these. If I counted right, there's 89. So all different sizes, all different subjects, and so I've been spending a lot of time doing the research on this, and we'll probably dive into listing these next week. But for 20 bucks, I'm willing to take a risk. I know I can get that money back, but I want to do it right and do it as well as I can on the first effort, and then fine tune that as I go along. So more ephemera. And the title here says box of old photos. Okay, I did not search for that. I was on this auction looking at other things, and this popped up. So it doesn't even say cabinet cards in the title. So that's the thing about these online auction sites, is their titles are not optimized. You really do have to just find like one thing and then start looking through that auction and do the math and figure out if it's worth having it shipped to you, if that's what you're doing, or how much you'll pay, what your max bid is. And it's hard on things like this because there's so many items in this lot. But I am very interested to get into this and see where this goes. Okay, back to my store and what I have listed. A lot of these items are old and they have been there a while. So we're just going to skim through all of these until I find something to talk about. Okay, here we go. I said I was going to ad lib, so here we are. I did buy these two needle point purses at an estate sale, and they're definitely vintage, and they're definitely very good condition. So this one here is more valuable because it has a insert, like a little purse inside a purse, and it has feet on the bottom. So these were about $25 a piece, and I've got them at $69 and $79. And then this cowboy hat was given to me, and it is a Australian brand, a Kubra. It's not one of the higher dollar ones, but I've got $100 on it, so we'll see where that goes. It's quite sharp. It's not brand new, but um, it's well made. So we'll see where that goes. And what else do I have here? A lot of items that I ended and restarted. Okay, I bought a lot of gloves, and they came out to be about $6 per pair. And these cashmere gloves were in there, and I've never seen cashmere gloves that are this long. But unfortunately, as with cashmere, there were quite a few holes. Um, but I'm not giving up on that, because these could be worn as a base layer or used as a cutter or used for something or even repaired if somebody wants to get that tedious. But yeah, they definitely have quite a few holes, and that's okay. They were part of a lot, so they were just in there. And so these gloves were part of that lot, as well as these, and these two pairs here. Very nice leather, some are lined, some are not. Okay, and these hot pink ones, or I guess they're fuchsia. That's an unusual color. Okay, I bought some more perfume. I usually pay no more than about $15 per bottle, and this was several bottles on one auction, so the shipping was combined. So did my homework there. And then some of these needlework pillows. This one's already had 43 views, and it was only started on April 8th, so that one's getting a lot of attention. The brand is Chelsea Textiles of London, and the embroidery is 100% wool, so a very well made item. And this pillow came from the same auction. I paid about $25 for both of these, knowing that I could flip them for 2 or 3 times that. So this one is needlepoint, and I think it's 14 by 14, so about 15 by 15. A good size throw pillow. Okay, and what else? Some Stife animals. This one's a baby. It's tiny. It's only 5 inches tall, but it's vintage, and I've seen some that sell for $40 for this little guy, and so he came out to be about $15. And then another lion. I already have one of those. And then we have, there's the Monopoly game I talked about earlier. And I think that's about it for the new stuff. I did a lot of ending and restarting. Oh, this scrapbook here. Since I did so well with that other scrapbook, I'm trying a few more of these. This one did not sell yet, obviously. It's still there, but it's from Forest City High School in Iowa. And look at these pictures, just very fun, vintagey things. I love the cat eye glasses on these ladies. That's just classic. And then there was another, oh, here it is, the nurses. I bought this lot of photos of these nurses at Paris, Illinois Hospital. There's 75 of these photos, and they are just crazy. You've got the doctors here doing actual surgery, and then you've got the girls, they're posing out in the yard and doing all these pin-up poses, and that's just fun. I'm really enjoying working with these different kinds of products, and getting these from estate sales, both local and online. I'm just seeing stuff that I would never see in a thrift store. These kind of things just don't make it to the thrift store. So I kind of fall down into the nostalgia black hole when I'm researching this stuff, because it's really interesting to me, and you got to keep it interested. So that's pretty much the new and exciting things I have been purchasing to sell on eBay.
And that wraps up the new format sales update video. Let me know your thoughts below. I feel like it's more casual, like I'm just, talking with you about what did I do in my eBay store this month. So I don't want it to be so formal, and I will be on camera like this talking with you because I've gotten away from doing that too. So kind of reinventing myself here. Let me know what you think. Keep listing, keep shipping, keep treasure hunting, and I will see you again soon. Happy selling, everybody. Bye.